Supervisor, and everybody ask him about the junction at Byron and Grant.
Thank you. Good evening, Mountain House. This is a really good turnout tonight. I'm here again on behalf of Supervisor Elliott, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight. He had long ago planned a trip out of the country, and so of course he's not here tonight. He's already starting Friday where he's at. So anyhow, and I don't know if I'm going through this thing or not.
You're good. You are.
Okay, thank you. So anyhow, he asked me to share a few things with you. One, at the last meeting that I attended, I shared with you that the governor had been proposing to shift $300 million away from the counties and back to use that to balance the state's budget. And we were hoping that he wasn't going to do that. That money is from the 1991 Realignment Healthcare Services Funds, and it's designated for the medically indigent healthcare services. And that is vital to our county hospital. He made good on his proposal, and he did take that money back from the counties, and it's estimated to cost our county hospital $3.6 million for the 2013-14 fiscal year, $10.9 million for 14-15 fiscal year, and 15.7 and 15.7 for the 2015-16 and 2016-17 years. So it will have a very big impact on our hospital. It'll be interesting to see how, with the Affordable Care Act coming into implementation, whether or not this will have quite the unfortunate impact that we're expecting. Hopefully the ACA will help out with that. That is what the governor was hoping for. A few months ago, Supervisor Elliott convened a meeting with county staff and Trimark. We were discussing the economic development of Mountain House. The county does maintain land use control out here in Mountain House, so we are very much involved in Shea and Trimark and the economic and all the other stakeholders and land property owners promoting economic development out here in Mountain House. And since then, Supervisor Elliott directed Harry Mavroginis, who's Deputy County Administrator, to make contact with all the Mountain House stakeholders, and he's been doing that for the last couple months. He's been successful in that endeavor, and is now we're looking for a date to get all the stakeholders into one room, or at least video conference, so we can discuss how we can all work together and get things rolling out here in Mountain House. And one of the big things that Dave shared with you is that property ownership change between Trimark and Mountain House for that piece of property. That was very difficult for Trimark to take that property and go market it to the grocers when they would turn around and say, okay, when can you give us the property? Well, due to things that had a chain of things that had to happen, they were not able to tell the grocer, we have control of the property. So that's a good thing that the property ownership was changed. And Supervisor Elliott, unfortunately, has missed several of your community meetings due to the fact that he's usually, in the norm has been, he's always at a CSAC meeting in Sacramento when these happen. This year, unfortunately, or this month, unfortunately, he's out of the country. And so what he did is and he's going to continue to do this, he held what you call office hours or a meet and greet. And we did that at the CSD offices, and we did that back in June 19th from 5 to 8. We're looking forward to doing one maybe during the middle of the day to see if more people show up. We're hoping to get as many people as we can to come in and share your issues, your concerns, and just get to know you better. One of the last things or the last thing I'm going to share with you is regarding the road work that Janice had spoken of. Byron and Grant Line Road intersection. As of last week, the contractor was obtaining final permits for the work on installing the traffic signal at the intersection. Unfortunately, I got out of the office so late tonight. I was hoping to take a drive by there and see if anything had been moved around, and I didn't get by there. unfortunately. So I don't know if anybody here has seen any dirt moving or anything like that over this last week, because the work was supposed to start this week. So hopefully things are happening. And I'll check with Public Works on that tomorrow. There are no planned closures of the road or intersection, so therefore there should be no detours. The intersection is expected to remain open to traffic during construction. The project does include a pavement overlay, so they will pave the project limits within a few hundred feet of the intersection. After the underground signal work is done, a pavement overlay does not require closure of the road. There may be delays up to 15 minutes, but there are no actual road closure, and therefore no detours are planned right now. If the situation changes due to needs, they may close the road, and that, of course, would require a detour, but they're not expecting to have to do that. So it should continue to flow, and hopefully, I don't have a timeline as to when the work will be done, but we know how long it's been taking to get this going to begin with. So I'm happy that we're just getting it going, and I hope you all are too.
He'll be in the back of the room if you have any questions. And now we'll turn it over to the Sheriff's Department.
Good evening. For the newcomers tonight, I'm just going to do a quick overview of police services in Mountain House. For you all that don't know, Mountain House contracts with the Sheriff's Office for police services. You have 6 full-time deputies that are assigned to Mountain House. With that is 24/7 coverage. Tonight we brought several handouts of our crime activities blog. Hopefully you guys grabbed them. There was none left. And for the newcomers, just quickly, there's a bunch of bar graphs that gives some statistics and analysis over different time frames. And at the very back of the page, it shows a 2-year comparison, and nothing alarming standing out of anything abnormal. Just quickly, bless you. Quickly referring to these activities, what we like to see as a Sheriff's Office is the suspicious persons reports. You guys are our eyes and ears out there when we may not be. If you guys see something suspicious, please call us and report it. Like I said, there's a deputy sheriff here 24/7. Let us know if you guys see something suspicious, and you guys will get a fast response. So be our eyes and ears. We like to see suspicious person calls high. Also, with that said, we also provided a handout tonight of important phone numbers. Of course, 911, our non-emergency phone numbers, as well as other important phone numbers here. If you guys did not get a handout and would like one, see me afterwards and I can point you in the right direction. I've been asked tonight to speak about a new crime tip prevention, which we call text-to-tip. In our new technology-driven age, we now have the capability to simply text message a tip to the Sheriff's Office. And the beauty of that is you can remain anonymous. You don't have to worry about any repercussions about calling the Sheriff's Office and getting a bad stigma. I'm going to briefly go over it. Also, you can visit our website at San Joaquin County Sheriff's Department. And on our home page, at the bottom right-hand corner, is a nice little icon that says text-to-tip. Click on that. It gives you about a page and a half printout of self-explanatory directions. But in short, if you get on your phone, we all send text messages every day. If you don't know how to send a text message, just see me afterwards. He's shaking his head. No. We can work together. But it's real simple. You turn your smartphone or your phone and you text crimes, and it doesn't need to be, it's not case sensitive, so crimes, and then to, whatever message you want to send to, would be like a message to someone. Before you start your message, just type SJSO, San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office, and whatever tip it is. And it may be something simple as, hey, someone's growing marijuana at, whatever address it is. Okay?
Is that a crime?
Sure.
Thank you. It's crime
2, like the number 2?
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you said the address. It is Crimes, C-R-I-M-E-S.
At?
No, just Crimes.
Okay.
That's all you need to type is Crimes. That's like the number 2. The body or the narrative of the text message, you need to start with SJSO. And then whenever the tip is, like I said, it could be a marijuana grow, or you may know someone that has stolen property or stolen car. And with that said, a call then gets generated. It's all anonymous. Okay, it's strictly anonymous. You will receive a response back. I have personally tested this recently.
So have I tested it.
Okay, I tested it to see, hey, does this work? It does work. Okay, you do remain anonymous, and there, like I said, there's detailed directions on the web page, the bottom right-hand corner. But again, it's simply text. The number 2 is Crimes, which numerically it's 274637, and the narrative SJSO, and then whatever tip it may be. Year to date, I checked today, since we've implemented this, we've had 182 tips come in. So it is working. We do respond to it, and oftentimes, whatever the tip is, we'll take appropriate action. It may be a narcotics case, we can forward it to our narcotics, our auto theft task force. And again, it's all anonymous. And there's also instructions that another tip is you can erase your call history, your text message content, so people can't say, hey, what's this? What are you text messaging to? So again, there's detailed instructions on the website, but it's a new tool. We're excited about it. It is working. It kind of eases tension, so you don't have to worry about negative stigma of calling the cops. It's out there. After the meeting will be at the back. I can help you guys with. And with that, I'd like to introduce the Sheriff, Steve Moore.
Good evening, everyone. For your edification, the website is www.sjsheriff.org. That takes you to our main site. The information's on there. The reports that were provided for you tonight in hard copy are available to you on the web. You can download it by the community. On top of that, you can also look at all the calls for service in your community, and it's sorted by community. Not every call generates an actual case report. It could be a loud party call. We go out there, they turn the music off, everything's been in compliance. We won't necessarily generate a report. Okay? But if you want to see what is actually going on and different things that are happening, you can get that information. Yes, ma'am.
What's the website address again?
www.sjsheriff.org. Okay, the other thing I wanted to address real quickly is, as President Farron brought up, she's brought attention to the fact that we've had a few more auto thefts in the neighborhood. Okay, the auto thefts that are reported here, the CHP, which would be the Tracy office, handles those that are taken off of the street. We would take the ones that if it's stolen out of a garage, but I also run the Delta RAT, which is the Auto Theft Task Force. They have been provided the information this evening on the most recent thefts. They will be working the area in the next several days. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, again, if you see somebody that doesn't belong and you see a vehicle that doesn't belong out there, call us. Okay, that's how we're going to make sure we find out what's going on in your neighborhood. Okay, believe me, I'd much rather see on our stat sheet a ton of calls that said suspicious circumstances came from this community, and then I don't see a lot of the thefts, I don't see a lot of the other problems. So if you don't feel right, if it hits you in the tummy or it gets you in the back of the head there, kind of raises those hackles, call us. You're not bothering us, you're doing the right thing. The additional thing is through the Auto Theft Task Force, in conjunction with all of the other cities, including the municipality, police departments, and us, we provide free to families the club anti-vehicle theft device. So if, right now they're being provided, I think, the top 10 stolen vehicles, but you can call 209-468-4140. That is our patrol division, and ask for the information. And if your vehicle is one of those, that we will provide you a club free of charge. Okay? So as long as you use that, excuse me?
Say that number again.
209-468-4140. Okay? So we'll make those available to you. Other than that, things are going well. We just took possession of a brand new armored vehicle, a Lenco Bearcat, that we got through grant funding, so it didn't cost the county taxpayers any money on that one. So we are moving forward, we're continuing to make things go, and we are continuing to hire to add more staff to the sheriff's office. With that, thank you. If I don't take any quick questions, otherwise I'll be on the side after the meeting. Yes, sir.
The six sheriffs that are allotted for this community,
Yes, sir.
do they respond basically on demand, or do they have a scheduled route to be monitoring and driving through the street?
The 6 deputies that are assigned specifically to Mountain House stay within the Mountain House boundaries, with the exception of need for emergencies, and they will go out and help Tracy PD, or they will go out and help the CHP. They're to stay within the quiet confines of Mountain House 100% of the time. Yes, sir.
How many do we have for the night time?
You have 1 on each shift around the clock. Yes, sir.
Has the growth of cannabis in the community subsided?
No, sir. In fact, it's becoming one of the biggest cash crops in the county.
I'm talking about Mountain House houses.
Oh, in Mountain House, it's still fairly steady. We haven't found any major grows or anything. You know, most of it's pretty small, but as far as countywide, marijuana is still a problem.
I was going to ask you a question.
Okay, he asked if marijuana growing here in the Mountain House area was going up. No, it is not. It stayed pretty steady, and we have not found any large grows here. But I did say that throughout the county of San Joaquin, the growth of marijuana and people doing it for whatever medical marijuana reasons or selling it for dispensary usage, which is illegal or other things, yes, it's still pretty rampant.
Right here.
So you talked briefly about growth. Since there's only 6 police officers, when do you pursue, like, when do you think there should be?
Well, I don't set how much coverage you purchase. That would be done by Jan and your CSD board, but we're willing to discuss that at any point in time if we want to work through that process. Yes, sir.
How much involved is your team on the neighborhood watch?
How much what?
Involved?
On the neighborhood watch.
How many involved?
The police, are they very much involved in the neighborhood watch program?
Oh, we are extremely involved. What he asked was how much are we involved with Neighborhood Watch. Mr. Hughes over here is our Neighborhood Watch coordinator, and we are extremely involved with Neighborhood Watch. It is a great tool. It works very well. It couples with that very first thing that I spoke of, where I said when you see things that you think aren't appropriate, you need to call us. If you do it with a Neighborhood Watch, we have it in several other communities. They immediately go to their phone tree. They automatically let the neighbors know what they're seeing. They automatically put it out on an email blast. Everybody gets the information. And a lot of times the neighborhoods gets the information long before I get it. So anybody that wants to work with Mr. Hughes at setting up Neighborhood Watch, putting captains in place in the different areas, he will be more than happy to do that for you. But we already have quite a few active groups here in Mountain House. Okay.
I've seen CHP sitting in Central Park at night on a couple occasions. Are they patrolling our streets, or something brought them to that area?
Okay. She said she's seen CHP in the Central Park, and are they patrolling or are they doing something else? The CHP are responsible for traffic enforcement even within the city, or correction, the community of Mountain House. Okay? We haven't yet gotten to the point where the sheriff's office is going to take over that. So therefore, you should see CHP officers in your community on a regular and consistent basis. If not, let me know and I'll talk to their captain. Okay. All right, I'm going to turn it over to President Farron, and like I said, I will be over here to answer questions and afterward. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff Moore. I really appreciate that. I wanted to stress something that the sheriff had said is if you see suspicious people to report it. The thing I want to stress is that stating that you saw something odd or unusual on Facebook does not reach the sheriff's department. And it sounds funny, but it happens frequently. People will go on Facebook or a community image villages or one of the local blogs and say, I saw somebody suspicious. Well, ironically, yesterday I was looking at Facebook and somebody was talking about a peddler that had come to their door and said, I just came from Celeste Farron's door. and yada, yada, yada. And I said, well, if they came to my door, they forgot to knock. So those kinds of things, when somebody comes to your door and is name dropping, or you see something unusual, please don't just post it on Facebook. The sheriffs cannot be overwhelmed with the number of calls that we can provide them with. The more calls we provide them with, the more demand for sheriffs that we need here, and the safer our community is. So that cannot be stressed enough. Please contact your sheriff. It's better to feel like you overdid it than wonder, should I have called that in? If they look like they don't belong, just call anyway. Or if you feel comfortable asking someone what they're doing in the neighborhood when you think they don't belong, feel free. This is your neighborhood, you own it. So I just wanted to reiterate, please don't just post it on a blog, call the Sheriff's Department. Thank you.
Thank you all for sticking through this. We have one more speaker tonight. Last but certainly not least is our fire department.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Andy Kellogg. I'm a division chief with the fire department. If those of you are not familiar with what our structure is, we are the South County Fire Authority. We provide services to the city of Tracy, the fire district of the Tracy Rural Fire District, and also the Community Services District out here in Mountain House. So you see our patches might say Tracy Fire. You see on our fire engines it says Mountain House Fire Department. It might get a little confusing, but if you look in the center of it, it says South County Fire Authority. That's really who we are. There's three things I want to talk to you tonight about real quick. The first one is primarily about fire prevention, and the first week in October, which is October 6th through 12th, is Fire Prevention Week. It's a nationally recognized time frame across the country that all fire departments really get out there in the community and try to educate the communities with fire prevention. This year's theme is preventing fires in kitchens in the home, which is kind of interesting for us today. We had 2 kitchen fires today. So very, not an unusual thing, but you know, coming here tonight talking about kitchen fires, and here we had 2 kitchen fires today. To kind of put it in perspective, when you look at fires in homes, across the United States we see about 400,000 residential structure fires annually every year. Of the 400,000, there's about 15,000 injuries that occur to civilians, to community members, and about 2,600 civilian deaths a year occur from homes or fires in residential homes. Of those numbers, about 34% of those numbers are generated by kitchen fires. Kitchen fires accounts for about 2 of every 5 fires that we we respond to. Kitchens, as everybody knows, there's a lot of heat sources, there's a lot of electronics and issues within a kitchen that can cause trouble. So we're going to actively be in the communities over the next month, and especially during the week of the 6th through the 12th of October, educating you on fire safety in your home, and primarily fire safety in the kitchen. So be looking for us. We'll be out there, and do not hesitate coming up to the fire station and talking to any of these guys over here. They're more than happy and willing and always there to provide you guys the service that you guys deserve and expect. The second thing I want to talk about real quick is another thing that happens in October, which is earthquake preparedness. On October 17th at 10:17 in the morning is the California Great Shakeout. What the California Great Shakeout is that it's a time that community members, primarily schools, workplaces, and in the home, we focus on earthquake preparedness and safety. At 10:17 on 10:17, the entire state of California is going to recognize it. There'll be an emergency broadcast over the radios and televisions and the emergency broadcast system, and that's to remind everybody to drop and cover and hold. That's the drill that we do when there's an earthquake. You drop, cover, and hold. It's not run outside. It's not run to the doorway or door frame, or not run into the bathroom. It's wherever you're at, you drop, cover, and hold. And all it is you drop down to your knees, you cover your head, and you hold that position. You're protecting yourself. If there's something you can get under it. If there's something that you can use to protect yourself, get under it and protect yourself from it. But don't try to run and move because of all the falling objects and items and whatnot. If you ever, and those of you who've ever experienced an earthquake, that are going to occur. It's stopping where you're at, protecting yourself, and holding that position until the shaking stops. We'll again be actively in the communities throughout October, educating everybody on some earthquake prevention and protection measures that you can take. The last thing I want to talk about real quick is in conjunction with Fire Prevention Week is the 6th annual Mountain House Fire Pancake Breakfast. And that's going to happen on October 12th, Saturday the 12th, between the hours of 6 and 11 a.m. You guys are welcome to come to the fire station where we will be there cooking pancake breakfast for you with sausage and eggs or sausage and orange juice and coffee and drinks and whatever else we may be able to get donated to us. The cost is $6 for adults and $5 for children. 100% of the proceeds goes right back into the community. We take all the money and it goes right back into supporting the youth sports activities in the entire response area that we respond to, along with a lot of other community service activities that the fire department is related with. So we want to invite you guys out. Come on down. We'll have lots of pamphlets, lots of handouts for you, lots of education opportunities. More importantly, get to meet the firefighters, hang out with them for a while, eat some of their cooking, which is pretty good, and spend some time with us. We'll have Sparky the dog out there for the kids. We'll have some other children activities going on. So we want to make it a big community event, which it, for the last 6 years has been. It's always been a great success. And we want to see that happen again and hopefully it's bigger and better than it has been in the past. So with that, is there any questions that I can answer real quick?
Who are the causes of those 2 kitchen fires?
Every kitchen fire. The 2 kitchen fires we had today was unattended cooking. It was a pot on the stove. Somebody just said, I need to go to the bathroom. I need to answer the phone. I need to answer the door. They're away for I'm only going to be away for 30 seconds. Well, that 30 seconds turns into 3 minutes. That 3 minutes turns into 6 minutes. That 6 minutes with a pot on the stove turns into a fire. And fires in kitchens spread very rapidly, as most of us know or may have experienced in the past. But typically, to get my numbers right, 74% actually of all kitchen fires is from unattended cooking. And I'll raise my hand too. I'm one of the guilties. I walked away from the pot on the stove because the kids are crying or because the doorbell rings. We shouldn't do that because that's what causes most fires in the kitchen and majority of fires in the homes. There was another question over there.
Do you guys still provide the emergency responder training, and what does that entail?
What we provide is called CERT, which is Community Emergency Response Teams. We actually just completed a CERT class out here in Mountain House for Mountain House community. I know, and don't quote me because I don't know the specifics, but I do know that there's more classes that are available and will become available out here for Mountain House. But contact the fire department. You can either talk to the fire station, they can get you information or get you to the right people, or call us at 831-6700. That's our main line, and we'll be happy to get that information to you. But there's more CERT courses that will be coming out here.
Have you already taken the CERT course? Do you need to retake it, or I took it in St. Louis. My husband and I did.
Okay.
When we moved here. So, do we need to? Is there some way we can be part of CERT? Do we need to take the course over again?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that question. But talk to me afterwards, and if you give me your email address, I'll be happy to get in touch with you.
Okay.
Cool. Anything else? All right. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for sticking through this tonight. I hope you got some good information. I hope you met some people that you now have faces with names and know who to contact about certain things. I'm going to let you go. The people will be hanging around. Grab them, ask more questions. Again, thank you very much for coming.